Good afternoon, Kristen Collins on Wellbeing Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. It's wonderful to reconnect, and I'm excited to continue our journey to unlocking the keys to emotional and mental well-being. And today we're going to cover the 6th of 7 of those keys. So as a quick refresher, we've already talked about the first keys to unlocking emotional and mental well-being, and those were breathe, reduce your distractions, feel your emotions. And then last week, we talked about knowing and living your life's purpose and casting your vision. So thank you for the opportunity to dive deeper into those first 5. Today, we're going to talk about the 6th key, which is releasing judgment. And this is definitely divinely timed. With all that's going on right now and all of the judgment that is being cast on one another, it's really, really destructive, and it is not supportive of our well-being. So I'm incredibly excited to dive deeper into this conversation today. So the first thought about releasing judgment is that there is plenty of room on this globe for all of our opinions and all of our thoughts and all of our processes, and for all of us to come and live our life on purpose and cast our vision. And we don't have to worry if someone else has a different vision or a different purpose than we do. We've talked about how boring it would be if we all had the same exact vision. What would be the point? And I challenge you to find any relationship that you have that you are constantly in lockstep. And if you really think that you never have a difference of opinion from someone, I'd re-examine that. Are you being true? Are you being authentic? So releasing that judgment and knowing that there's plenty of room for all of us, and you can just cast your own vision and go for your own gusto and not be worried about somebody else. It doesn't mean you become a doormat and you just experience it and say, I disagree. That's so interesting. And then we also talk about letting go of things that we can't control. And again, we're at this incredible time in history where there's so much out of our control. And, I don't leave the house very often, but when I do, I default into casting judgment. I'm like, oh, look, that person's choosing that. Oh, look, that person's doing that. And I have to remember they're on their own journey. I am not in control of them. It is not my job. And how arrogant that would be to think it's your job to cast judgment on all these other people. There are rules. If you don't like the rules, then you plug in to change rules, right? But casting judgment and trying to control things that you have no control over, they don't work. So I've shared this information before, and I want to give an additional shout out to Heather Christie, one of the most amazing national executive coaches on the planet, and she happens to be here in Southwest Florida. She's been so instrumental in my journey. She's just done some work within the community recently that was really amazing. So Heather and I had connected back in December, and I talk about this story all the time because it was really a game changer for me, and I hope it helps you. So she expressed to me that for every second, we are receiving 2 million bits of information bombarding our poor selves. Can you imagine? And we only have the capacity to process 134 bits of information in any given moment. So think about that. With our current culture and all the stimuli that come at us, and we've already talked about reducing distractions, right? We're getting 2 million bits of information coming at us, only capable of processing 134. So how do we manage that? What do we do? How are we all not passing out from being overwhelmed? Because that is overwhelming. Well, what we do by default is we start immediately separating and filing away and defaulting and saying, oh, I recognize this as this from the past, so let me go ahead and get that out of the way because I already understand that. I don't need to process that. So we default based on our own journey and our own lens, the stuff that comes at us. So for every person that's on this planet, they have a different opinion because of their own lens and biases and journey and experiences that they bring to the table. So I found that so freeing when I found that out. And ever since then, I now take a pause when I'm not in alignment with someone on something. And I think, let me pause on that. Let me think on that, because they have a very different perspective based on their experience. What are they seeing that I'm not? And do I want to change? Have I just gotten into a rut where this situation or this person just constantly shows up like this for me? And am I seeing the whole truth? It's impossible to see the whole truth because we can't process 2 million bits of information. So how exciting that we can pause and change our mind just by being aware of that. So today, our key being releasing judgment. I hope that helps. And being one of unity, because we all are interconnected. We all are one. And when we're hurting one another or judging one another, we're only hurting ourselves. And two, often we project onto people what it is that we're feeling or what we're seeing, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. It's something we're aware of for ourselves or something we're not aware of. So think about that as well when you're releasing judgment and receiving judgment, and just know, why am I receiving this judgment? What's the lesson? And what is being projected on me potentially? What is that person feeling? So it's a two-way street when it comes to releasing judgment. So as always, I have a quote I want to read you, and I've narrowed it down. I received this morning from Guru Singh. He's another really inspiring thought leader, and it talks about how we're all interconnected and we are all one. And by releasing judgment, that's how we're going to heal and be well and help us unlock the keys to our mental well-being. So I'd love to share with you. You and everyone have given away great power to the denial of connection, like a leaf on a tree that does not believe it's fully related to the leaf hanging next to it or on the far side of the tree. This sense of separateness gives rise to all of your negative emotions, the ones where you fear another leaf, doubt another leaf, believe that other leaves are your enemy, or at least not your friends. You share the same roots and trunk. You are the same life force, and whatever happens to another definitely affects you, even when you're not aware of it. Every other piece within the entire tree of this universe is connected to you. Maybe a connection long forgotten and disconnected, but trace the entire threads, and it's you. When your consciousness comes to realize this, you can leverage the knowledge and power of the total. When this leverage is used benevolently, it is wisdom. Begin developing this awareness right away and use this wisdom to connect each and every person you meet to each and every person you meet. You will discover the similarities amongst everyone and find the threads that connect you to these shared aspects. This will relax all your base emotions of separateness. This is truly you being one with everything. So I thought that was really fitting today as we talked about releasing judgment, because when we are judging, we're only hurting ourselves. So with that being said, thank you for the opportunity. I do want to close today by sharing that I am going to be closing my journey with Lee Health here in the next few weeks. It's been an incredible ride. I've really appreciated the opportunity to be a part of Lee Health for the past 10 years. So next Wellbeing Wednesday will be my last Wellbeing Wednesday on behalf of Lee Health. I will be continuing those on my own, and you're welcome to stay connected. You can access them on my own Facebook page, which is, it can be found at Living It on Purpose. And I think they're going to add that tag for you this week and next week. And or find me on my website, KristenCollins.com. And there you can connect with me in any social media platform. There's all the linkage on that website. And All of these resources that you and I have put together over the past few months, connecting on Wellbeing Wednesday, will remain as resources on the Lee Health Facebook page. And as always, you can still access additional tools on the website. So with that, I thank you so very much for the opportunity to connect with you. And I look forward to closing this chapter next week and continuing on after that. Thank you and be well. Bye.